Good morning and welcome back again to the workshop series. Let's just go for a wee bit of a walk before I get out there. Flaming cold again, down to single digits. It's supposed to be spring and warm and sunny. Well, it's neither of those. It's actually spitting to rain at the moment. Darn it. I've been doing some more trimming down the driveway. I'm just going down to check the post to see whether any more goodies have come. Got some the other day. They're sort of going to be useful in the workshop. But as you can see, I've been doing a wee bit more trimming. In fact, I've been doing a lot of trimming. Oh, I have got a parcel. Yippee! That one there was a wee bit of an effort because it was approaching the power line, and they get a little bit annoyed with you when they trees start smacking the power lines. So it got a haircut. Don't know what this is. Anyway, we'll find out. Yeah, so I've got a bit of chipping to do. This is actually one of the best decisions I ever made. Not that it was an original idea, because it's been used for generations, is to mulch the area here. Stops the weeds. It's cut the requirement from weeding down by heaps. Wished I could do that with the driveway. Oh well, I'll have to get onto that. What are we up to today in the workshop? Well, I did a video last night in SketchUp and in the workshop saying how happy now I am that the small progress or the small increments of progress have meant that we'll get a bit more accuracy built into the assemblies that we're talking about for the 3-4-5 methoding of drilling the bench dog holes. And that's the sort of thing that can drive people spare with your hopes and aspirations, and when they get all mucked up. So now we have got the nuts going to be individually ground. Sounds arduous. It's not. Well, I don't think so. And I can gauge them together like this, so that I can get, pointing camera in a better direction, so that I can micrometer, well not micrometer, but vernicaliper them together, so that I can get a standard measurement going along all the different combinations, the assemblies, so that when I go to glue them, I know I've got a very consistent distance from the center line of the threaded rod to the center line of my gauge, my guide rather. And that's possible because of the, where did I grind that one? Like that. I'm grinding it and I'm able to get that sort of measurement. It happens to be 2.35 millimeters. I'm trying to get it all consistent so that when they butt up, as I said, to these ones, which have also had a indicator measurement on, in this case 4.8, I find all the other ones, I know it sounds a little bit convoluted, but it's actually quite straightforward. It was, and as I was phrasing it, it was unexpected, and that was what caught me by surprise, because it was unexpected, that these nuts vary a lot in their manufacture. So in this case here, which I think I covered this off in the last video, this one had a 1.1 compared to 1.6 millimeter wall thickness, and well, that's 0.5 of a mil just there, half a millimeter. And there was one that was 1.7. Well, it was actually this one. And I ground it down on the sander and just tickled it up to reduce it by that 2.5 or 3.5 millimeter amount, a 0.35 rather amount, and I did find that by putting a flat bar on the surface here, it was easier for me to slide the nut backwards and forwards rather than the aluminium, which you wouldn't have thought there'd be much difference, but there is. Anyway, we've got a good surface there, and I can get the bar right up to the surface of the sander itself rather than the small gap. Anyway, just those wee practical things. Anyway, what have we got in the post today? I'm getting closer to getting my garage back into, or my workshop back into a practical or usable condition. Hang on, I'll just put yours down. I'll have a wee bit of a look at what we're doing here. Hang on. See what we're about. Much easier doing it this way. Got no idea what this is. It may not even be for the workshop. So I've still got no idea. Ah, yes, it is before the workshop. Don't know how good they are. They were cheap, so therefore I don't know how good they are. But I got a pair of digital angle rulers, is what they're called. I was wanting one of these for ages, and I saw them on the site, and I thought, hey, why not? But you can tell by their heft that they're not what I would have thought, but it was not unexpected. But I'll have to get the digital batteries for it. But I'll pick these up again. What we've got here is the digital readout for our angle finder. And I wanted to do this because in the Dome series of videos, I was making mention of this sort of tool so that I can set my mitre saw accurate for those small incremental changes that you need when you're building a geodesic dome. So it's the scale on this one is actually pretty darn good. It's probably one of the better ones. It's probably more indicative of the size of the machine actually, because it's a 305 millimeter blade on it. So those bigger machines have got bigger bases which can afford a much clearer and usable scale. So that's good. But this is just another way of I'm not going to say guaranteeing, but checking the measurements and angles. So I've got a small-ish one and a slightly bigger one. So that'll be interesting to see how well that goes and how well the which battery I need there. Anyway, that's a workshop edition. You can go in my precision tool drawer, which is the one I've got down there with all some of the other items like that. But it's all those little things that allow us to enjoy our time in the workshop rather than banging our head up against an issue that we can't resolve when we don't have these tools, and toys if you want. Anyway, back to this. I will spend a wee while just gauging the nuts and see whether I can get a consistent, see whether I can get a consistent measurement when I line them up like that and measure them up with the Vernier calipers. The problem being is that the Verniers don't really nest into the curve of the nuts all that well, and the measurement's not always consistent. But it's better than what I've got sitting up there because they are different. Rightio, that's all I've got to add in this one. Hope you enjoyed the little walk. I didn't, because it was flaming cold. Had to put another layer or two on you know that it's cool again or cold again when you swap out the hat for the beanie, which I've got the beanie on today. It's not all that warm, as I've mentioned probably 2 or 3 times already. Rightio, I'll get back to you with when and if. That's a new word, but when and if I've got something better to report on here, more positive to report on here. Rightio, see you in the next one now. Bye.